My name is Frank Bolden, and I'm the former NASA administrator, and I'm privileged to be here in the UAE in the first meeting of the Advisory Council or Advisory Committee to the UAE Space Agency. I'm really excited about the plans that on which we're being briefed today, particularly the idea of a 100-year program to get to a habitat on Mars, a human habitat on Mars. I'm excited about the coming launch of the HOPE mission, which will supplement the work that's already going on between the United States and India, looking at the Martian atmosphere. This will give the UAE an opportunity to become a part of a team that's helping us to understand more thoroughly and fully the Martian atmosphere. So I think that's a great example of the way that the UAE can fit into the international community when it comes to space exploration. And then I think the final thing that really excites me is the fact that you're now getting ready to select 4 astronauts who, as I understand, will begin to train in the US and Japan and Europe and other places for the prospect of eventually flying maybe to the International Space Station or some of the other platforms that are developed in the coming years. So it's a good time to be here. There are a lot of challenges, and many of them are technical challenges. We talked about some of the things that sometimes seem minor, but they're actually major challenges. One of propulsion. You know, today when you're talking about going to Mars, we're talking about an 8-month mission. That's too long. You know, we need to find ways to cut that significantly. If not, you know, you start by saying, okay, we're going to cut it in half, but eventually you need to get to the point where travel to Mars is a matter of days or weeks at most. And that's going to take some major developments in propulsion that's totally different from what we use today. Get away from chemical propulsion, nuclear, ion, a lot of other things. And those are some of the UAE Space Agency. One of the things that's most encouraging about it is its age. And when I say its age, I mean the age of its employees. You know, your average age is in the 30s. If you look at NASA and other agencies around the world, our average age is in the upper 50s. So you're getting fresh ideas from young people who they don't think like we think or we thought, and they're really able to think about, okay, how do we find a way to speed the transportation along so that it's much different from where it is today. So that's one of the major things that's, I think, is encouraging about where you are today. My biggest recommendation is be pushy. You know, really push yourself into the international community. Become a part of any international exploration group. Right now, most recently, about 25 nations put together the latest version of the Global Exploration Roadmap. UAE was a member of that team, and that's the kind of work that needs to be done, because that way you can get your efforts counted into the international milestones chart, if you will. And the other thing I mentioned to people is take credit for what our partner agencies are doing. So yeah, it may be, you know, the United States is launching InSight. Well, UAE can benefit from that, and we should be able to say, okay, the U.S. and its European partners are launching a mission called InSight that's going to go and bore into the surface of Mars. That's going to be very valuable to us, because downstream the UAE wants to do this. And so that you connect whatever UAE is doing over the next 100 years to what the international partners are doing. And in that way, we use the term tempo in our discussion earlier. Even though it may not be physically the UAE that's flying a mission every 2 years, there's something going every 2 years or every year that the UAE can connect itself to, can relate to, and for the population here, they can see themselves involved all the time in exploration, in deep space exploration.